ABL to God damn it. What's up guys, Steven Knox here. Today's topic will be ABL and DFFN. This is probably the first low flow that's been happening for the past 2 months. Today we're going to talk about how to really trade it, and there's some of the details I should be careful with. Now, when to find the spot that stock does have an edge or sometimes it doesn't have an edge. Let's get into it. So ABL, super low flow as you can see, under 1 million. And for any flows that are under 1 million, it's considered to be a micro flow. Well, number one, they have a really high volatility. Number two, it's really hard to get a very accurate entry point because the spread is typically really high. The range is pretty big. And we can see even from 5 to 20. Now the first day, now most people think, okay, well, the stock went over 100% when it's time to short. Now, just for experience, because I track statistics on those micro flows, I try to figure out when's the time to place the right short and when's the time to cover. Typically for micro flow, stock likely to spike over 100%. If a micro flow spikes only over 100%, barely over 100%, that's considered to be really low, because average micro flow, if it tends to spike over first day or second green day, on the first green day, if they trades about 15 or 20 times of its flow rotation, typically goes over 200, 300%. But first, it actually traded about, I think, goes around 20 million shares. So that spiking percentage considered to be really low for micro flow stocks. Now, people are so eager to really size in those plays because for the last month we didn't really have any plays to really size into. So when people are so eager to make a play, they don't care about they're so eager to make money. When that kind of thoughts get into your head, you're likely to lose because you're driven by emotion. In these specific situations, people who shorted on May 1st, of course, they got squeezed into the pre-market, and people who also bought the breakout as well. And now on this day, on the second green day, and now shorting on the second green day is much better than shorting on the first green day. So for micro flow, shorting on the first green day is a never. And for the second green day, maybe. Because now for second green day, it needs to form its resistance. On this one, entry in the morning, it's a completely gamble because you don't know the stock is gonna spike higher. And typically on the second green day gap up, it's really hard for the stock to go red since it gapped up 80%. So for ABIL to go red, it needs to drop over 50% on the current day, now, which is really unlikely to do. You can see it dropped from 20 to 12. It's still 20% up in green. So now that's why I didn't really short on the gap up into the second green day. I typically do overstand gap down because you need the stock to go red first, then push through the resistance, then short into that. For second green day gap up, I typically don't short into that. And I think was right at around 7 a.m. I woke up, there were shares to short, but no matter what you do, there's no edge. If the stock breaks through the resistance, it's pretty much a gamble to short into that. Into the second green day. Now if the stock gaps down, the stock is only up over 100%. If you use the $13 as resistance short into, you might not really reach to 13 because the consolidation area is between 9 to 13. So you don't know where to choose the resistance short into. And that is the risk for shorting into micro flow since they have a large range, the risk area. Now the key point is always find a consolidation after the first green day to short into a micro flow stocks, because once it consolidates, you have a tighter range, especially on the second green day, so you don't have a resistance around either 8 to 12 or 8 to 13 that you don't really know if the resistance is at 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, and that is the risk of micro flow. So hope this video helps. If you want to know more about trading penny stocks, click the link below. The new DVD is coming out soon. It will pretty much give you about how to really trade in more specific situations. So let me know if it's helpful. I will see you guys next video.